All right, boom. So it is now 10:01 on the East Coast, so I'm going to go ahead and start. But I will ask y'all to go ahead and get the last minute people on because I have a feeling that tonight is going to be a very, 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 very fire call. We've been having a fire night, all the calls, but I feel like we're going to end it out with a bang tonight. So please go remind everybody to get on this thing as soon as possible. I'm going to go ahead and get started though and introduce myself. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Annie Buffins. I started my fitness journey 2.5 years ago. I've been a part of this amazing Herbalife community for 2 years now. I signed up in January of 2016. Give me 1 second so I can turn this off because it's distracting me. Okay, cool. So I signed up in January of 2016. One of those people who, I was 21 when I found Herbalife. And I was someone who was drinking, smoking, drugs, eating all different kinds of crazy. But I knew that I wanted change for my life, not just in the gym, but my mental and my body, financial, spiritual, everything I needed change. So I got in the gym, and that's how I was introduced to Herbalife. I kind of sort of started off as a client. I started doing the shakes. I lost 25 pounds. I was feeling real good. That's actually when the business opportunity was presented to me because I was already telling people what to do and telling them that they needed Herbalife and posting and doing all that good stuff, just wasn't getting paid for it. So that's when the business opportunity was introduced to me. I started off in the business. My first month in the business, I hit senior consultant, and I made a little bit less than $500. And to me, that was so important because I, at the time, was babysitting. I had just quit a job at the tire shop. Imagine me, princess, job, tire shop. No, didn't work out too well. I'm sure you guys can get kind of a guess of how that went. But I was just needing some extra money, okay? So I fell in love with Herbalife. Of course, the products are amazing. We all know that. But the business as well. 2 years into the business now, and I'm building the most amazing team ever. I'm so grateful for what we get to do. I don't think I shared this. No, I didn't last week. Actually, I did share on the super call. But this month, I earned my highest check in Herbalife. Just to say, my first check in Herbalife was $63.10. I had no idea how it was coming or why it was coming. I just knew that I had a check and I was excited about it. And once I learned how this business really works and how to grow your check, which is downline and helping other people grow, this month, my highest check was almost $6,000. So it was $5,702. And so grateful because that number is high and cool and all, but it represents a lot of people's lives being changed, not just my own, starting with my own. So that is a little bit of my story and who I am. Tonight, if you've never been on this call before, this is a family time call. We have this every Sunday. And what we do to get this call started off with some positivity is we have some shares. So if anything positive happened to you this week that you'd like to share, feel free to unmute yourself and fire us up with some amazing energy.
Yo, I say yo. Oh, what up, everybody? This is Thomas, Racine, Wisconsin, current World Team member. And I'm excited because last month I did a challenge with my personal group, with my clients. This month, we're getting a lot of these results. We do a weekly weigh-in, which we've done every Friday this month. And last Friday, if I'm not mistaken, it was a total of 36 pounds down between 11 people that posted their weights. So that was crazy. Everybody was getting fired up. The group is everybody in there just so that's amazing. So that was really exciting for me. Pass it back to whoever else needs to share.
Yo, we got it. Kylando, Green Bay, Get Team. Go ahead, Bay.
So our share is we're in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and we just got hit with the blizzard. It actually has a name, Storm Evelyn, and Green Bay got 23 inches of snow. And the reason I'm sharing this is that I'm super thankful we both do Herbalife full-time, that we could work our business from home. And yeah, we shoveled 13 inches yesterday, but today we didn't have to worry about it. And tomorrow we actually probably are closing our nutrition club because they're shutting down the town again. But super thankful to be able to do Herbalife and still be able to work from home.
Yes.
So that's my share.
Thank you guys, both of you, Mr. Yo, I say yo, and Kylando for your shares. Does anybody else have a positive share, something that happened to you great this week that you'd like to share with us all? Steven, you really went and got that hat. Okay.
Yeah, sure did. Yep. So that's a positive. Found my hat and my chain. I was worried I wasn't gonna have it for the call today, but I found it. And we in business now, so that's a positive. Another positive. Man, a bunch of stuff happened. Man, we got couch moved into my house. I did a lot of adulting this past week. Bought a washer and dryer, and I felt good because I was able to. I didn't have to rent it. I didn't have to do anything like that, but I bought it. Over $10,000. We got that check with Herbalife. Made $11,000 last month with Herbalife. Don't know how to feel about that. Last week spent my first week in my new car. It's just a bunch of stuff happening, y'all. I don't know what is life, but I'm just excited about the opportunity that we have. And now I'm making enough money that I can actually take Sarah out for a steak now, because y'all know she bougie, so you gotta get like $250,000 steaks and stuff. So now I can finally afford to have a real date. So we in there, and I get to wear my hat and chain. It's lit, y'all. Y'all excuse the amount of lift offs that I had today, but y'all know I had to get on here and bless y'all a little bit. So I know somebody got their mouth closed because they can't believe what's coming out of my mouth. Trust me, I can't either. But I'm gonna pass the call back to Annie.
You really had me. I was so excited for you. I was like, congrats, yeah. Then you brought up the Sarah date steak. Nah, you lost me. But congratulations on both things, actually, because both are positive. And I'm still wishing you the best with that one. Does anybody else have any other positive shares?
Hey, I do. Whitney from Racine, Wisconsin. I'm pretty excited. Last week I went and worked out with my friend from middle school. She just had a baby 2 months ago, and I worked out with her. Obviously, she wants results. So today I went to go pick up her money. I'm putting her order in, so new client alert pretty soon.
New life impacted. Go ahead and change that girl's life. Congratulations. Before I share my share, can we get a couple more positive shares?
Yeah, it's your boy, the handsome dread. I'm in the dark though because I'm trying to put her to sleep. But it's Adrian from Tampa, Florida, western Tampa, Florida, to be honest with you. I'm excited because though I got a promotion in my job, in which I didn't want a promotion because I wanted it in Herbalife, but I'm gonna make sure that happens. Don't worry about that. I get to go to a whole different city to take over their city in Herbalife. So little do they know, they think they're giving me a promotion to help they store out. They're giving me a promotion to help my Herbalife business out. So that's the cool thing.
Dope. Congrats, Daddy Adrian. Congrats. Positive shares. Can we get a couple of more before I share mine, and then we let Miss Sarah off the leash? Anyway.
Yep, I'll go. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
This is Desmond, one half of the McLean gang. A positive share I wanna give you guys. I got the opportunity to drive down to Memphis and surprise my pops. I just actually met my pops for the first time like a year and a half ago. So I actually got the opportunity to drive down to Memphis to surprise him for his birthday, and he was totally shocked. It was an amazing feeling. Just staying branded, I was able to get some family members to actually, look into the products, and we got some potential clients coming, family. So I'm excited about that.
Congrats on that. And that's super dope that you were able to do that, because a lot of people cannot. But with this amazing opportunity, of course. So congrats on that. Man, I thought we were going to be able to hear from the other half of the McLean gang, but I guess we didn't. So her, I said, hey, anyway. Does anybody else have any positive shares for us? Okay, cool. So I'll go. A couple of positive shares. So the first thing is we had over 5 new members in the Brave Heart crew join the business last week. So that's just super duper dope because people are coming into our organization and they're on fire and they're ready to grow their own business. So not only are we growing our businesses, but other people are growing their businesses too. So that's number one. So I'm super duper happy for my team and their growth. Another positive share is that my mama is calling. But we're gonna have to decline her because we having family time. But anyways, another positive share is we have Fit Camp today. That always puts me in a really, really good mood. Y'all, if you're ever like having a bad day or you had a bad week, couple days, whatever, things are going wrong, don't not show up to the Herbalife things, because one thing that we all know is that when we get around each other, and we get on these calls and we go to Fit Camp and we're around our Herbalife family, the mood just changes. There's no negativity. There's none of that. So I'm happy about that because I wasn't having the best day and I wasn't having the best couple of days, but I went to Fit Camp today and was surrounded by my amazing Herbalife community in Atlanta, and everything was no problem, along with getting on the last couple of calls. So, wow. So, without further ado, I am going to introduce our guest speaker for tonight. If you don't know, now you know. So many different things that she's been doing. I've had the pleasure of meeting her in Cancun, and actually sitting down and talking to her on a team vacation a couple of months ago, and whoa. Her energy, her soul, everything is just vibrates and it just attracts you to her. She's an amazing woman that I personally look up to. Y'all, she did a crazy impact of 50K last month, along with hitting 2 cuts. Not one, but 2 cuts. Not one, but 2 cuts. So with that being said, I'm going to pass the call over to Miss Sarah Fontenot. I hope I'm saying her last name right. It's so fancy that like I just wow. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to her. Take it away, Sarah. Fire us up.
Oh man, thank you so much, Annie. And you are just a beast. I'm grateful to even have the opportunity to share with you guys. Steven, you know I love you. This entire organization is amazing. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to really share with you guys. And I really just want to share from a place of straight up, like real, authentic rawness. Can I be real and authentic with you guys today? Because that's how I operate. And at any point, I have no problem sharing the uglier parts of my life, because I really feel like there's always somebody that needs to know it can be ugly and beautiful at the same time. You can go through the struggle and win at the same time. And so I say that to say, guys, hi, I'm Sarah Fontenot, and before I got started with Herbalife, I was trying to get in shape, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how to eat right. I didn't know how to work out right, but I felt fine asking people questions. And so I would say things like, hey, how do I get legs like you? How do I get abs like you? Girl, how do I get a booty like you? And everyone was telling me in a different way. They were like, Sarah, you should be working out more and eating less. Has anyone ever heard that before? Can I see some spirit fingers if you've heard that before? So I'm pretty clear, and all of us on this line are really clear that that's a lie. But the problem is I'm a super go big or go home type of person. So when they told me work out more, I was killing myself in the gym 6 days a week for 2 hours a day. When they told me to eat less, I went to Google because I really didn't want to starve myself. I actually wanted to do it the right way. So I Googled, how many calories should I be taking in a day? And Google didn't know that I was working out 6 days a week. So it told me 1,100. So to give you guys an idea, while killing myself in the gym, my dinner for months was 7 Triscuits and a can of sardines. That was it. And when I tell you, I have never felt as low energy, as in such like a dark place in my life. And then it got worse. You know how they say like life is going to give you what you can handle. I re-injured myself in one of those workouts. I was almost paralyzed coming up on 10 years ago now. So I couldn't work out at all, but I'm grateful. At the time, it seemed like my life was coming to an end, but I'm realizing it's like that, how they always say the bow and arrow. The further it gets pulled back, the further forward it can slingshot. The faster it's going to go, the further you can travel. And so that's when I found Herbalife. And so I'm not going to say it was a miracle, but what I am going to say is it was my miracle. And in my first 6 weeks, obviously I could not work out. I took 4 inches off of my waist. For any of my ladies, we all know the products are amazing. I added 5 inches to my curves. Praise God. Finally got a little bit of a booty. And I got abs out of the deal. So I was like, oh, hey, now, okay, this is it. And that was 5.5 years ago, guys. 5.5 years to date. I've dropped 36 pounds of body fat. I've put on over 20 pounds of muscle. And I'm just obsessed with what this community has created and the opportunity that it creates for anyone that wants it. Thank you so much. So what I love is, you know, in my first month, I did not know anything about these products. Guys, if you're brand new on this call and you don't know what's in every product, you don't have to. People do not care about information. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But people would say to me all the time, I'd be like, you need to get on this Herbalife. Yo, side note, when I saw my top 2 abs in my first week, you couldn't have told me anything. I was so juiced up. I was like, Herbalife. It was like vomit, right? And so I was just telling everyone, you need to get on Herbalife. They're like, what is it? I was like, it's amazing. It tastes good. And they always used to say like, well, what's in it? And I was like, I don't know, but I got results. So if you want results, then you should try it, right? Guys, that worked. So if you're new on the call, you do not have to have all the answers. My sponsor does not do the business. My sponsor's sponsor does not do the business. So it was figuring out on your own, knowing that when you start your Herbalife business, it is not up to your sponsor for you to be successful. That's a perk if you have that person, but it's up to you to go out and get it. So if you want it, it's here for the taking. And I say that because, guys, in my first month, without even knowing what I was talking about, I made an additional $1,500. And at the time, that was everything to me. I don't know where you guys are at in your life, but my struggle was real. Like I said, being authentic at the beginning of this call, my bank account was in the red more often than not. I cannot tell you how many $35 fees I accrued just because I was $3 in the negative. Like, I'm only $3 and you're about to charge me $35, and clearly I don't even have the 3. And then they get you for 5 days. Like, oh, you just threw my whole life off. Or when you don't go places because you can't afford the parking. Or when your girls or your guys, they ask you to go out to eat and they're like, you pretend like you're not hungry, not because you're not actually hungry, but because you can't afford to order anything. So you eat the bread that comes to the table and drink a lot of water. I'm here to tell you guys, it does not matter where you're at in your story, because I was struggling to pay my rent every single month. And last month, Herbalife paid me over $10,000. $10,000. Like, I've never in checks. I'm not even talking about retail. Like, I've never in checks though. Like, wait, hold up. Like, in checks, crazy to me. So I say that to say it doesn't matter where you start, guys. And I say that for the coaches that have new people that are coming into this business. See people for who they can be and not where they're at. And it's going to take a story. Okay, so number 1, write this down. If you want to make it in anything, cultivate a mindset. Cultivate a mindset that says, hell or high water, I'm going to make it. Hell or high water, millionaire team. Hell or high water, I'm retiring my mom. Hell or high water, I'm buying a house. Hell or high water, I'm building a fund for my children. Whatever it is that you want in your life, hell or high water, it's going to happen. And that happens when you cultivate a mindset beforehand. Because if you're not ready for the climb beforehand, when it starts to get hard, that's why people quit. So you get to decide up front, what do you want out of Herbalife? right? Like, who do you want to be in this company? And there is no right or wrong. Whether you want to be president's team, world team, make $200 extra a month, we need it all, right? It's all awesome. It's impact regardless. And so when I first started, guys, my story, my mindset was, this is all a part of my story. Whatever happens to me, this is all a part of my story. And I used to have my sponsor, right? She was like my friend, but she didn't do the business. She just signed a lot of people up, but she never really built a business. And I remember, guys, my car crashed itself on the freeway. Don't ask questions. It's just how it happened. My car crashed itself. Yes, it's gone, right? So I didn't have a car. And I remember my girl, my sponsor was like, oh my God, Sarah, like, why is your life so hard? Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to? I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to take the bus. Now, guys, sometimes when bad things happen to us, if you do not cultivate that mindset beforehand, you start thinking, well, maybe God is trying to show me that I'm not supposed to be doing this. No, God is testing you to see how bad do you really want it. So when my car crashed itself, I, lived in Hollywood at the time. My mentor lived in Torrance, California, which is a 3-hour bus ride one way and a 2.5 bus ride hour back. And I had to decide, because my sponsor didn't do Herbalife and he had the nuggets that I was looking for, to take the bus. Now, I already know there's a lot of people that would have already quit. But I said, you know what? This is all a part of my story. This is all a part of my story. Ooh, I'm going to have a good story, right? I go forward, guys. I get robbed at the bus stop. Robbed at the bus stop for all I have. And it was just over $200. And $200 may not seem like a lot until that's all you need to pay your rent. I'm trying to tell you guys, it is all a part of your story. And I could have allowed that story to be the thing that was like, you know what? God is just telling me I'm not. No. God is testing you to see how bad do you really want it. I didn't know how I was gonna build Herbalife, but my mentor, executive president's team member Corey White, said, Sarah, just keep talking to people. Just keep feeding the pipeline. It's gonna be okay. Just keep feeding the pipeline, because it's all a part of my story. And this is the thing, guys. As we become more and more successful in anything, the problems never really stop. And to be honest, they evolve with us, and usually at a more faster rate. So there's always going to be something. That's why initially we say it all the time. Mindset is what's going to get you to president's team or millionaire team or your goal or whatever it is that you're looking at, because life is going to slap you in your face. And when all you have is your Herbalife business looking at you and it feels heavy, the business doesn't even really start until you want to quit, in my opinion. When you're in that place where it's like, ooh, when you're in tears because you want to let it go, but you can't, that's when the business starts. If you haven't gotten there yet, ooh, y'all still in it, like walking the park. It's still you're in the honeymoon phase. It's cute. It's still cute. But when you get to that marriage stage, stuff gets a little more real, and you really just want to like slam doors, throw pots, and slap people, like, but you can't. Yeah, it's like that, right? I'm just saying. So cultivate a story. What story are you telling yourself? What story are you telling yourself? And remember, guys, things go wrong so your life can go right. Things go wrong so your life can go right. You've got to get conditioned. And one of my favorite stories to share, I read this amazing book called The Sacred Search, and it talks about Mount Everest. And a man talks about how to climb Mount Everest. You have, like it is hard. Can I see some spirit fingers if we agree that it is hard to get to the top? People die on the way up Mount Everest. That's how we know it's hard, right? And he says, if a 300-pound man came to him and said, I'm so excited. I want to climb Mount Everest. It's going to be amazing. Oh my God. Ah, just tell me what I need to get. He says, I would respectfully decline. Now, if you think about it, there's no level of energy. There is no level of excitement. There is no level of passion that can get someone that just isn't ready to the top of the mountain. There's a level of conditioning that needs to happen. And sometimes what we're doing is we're putting 300-pound energy onto our back and trying to make it up Mount Everest. And you cannot climb it's hard to climb yourself, let alone with someone else on your back. So give them the tools to get conditioned so they can make it up the mountain with you. Does that make sense? Can I see some spirit fingers if that makes sense? Don't kill yourself off putting people on your back that aren't ready for the journey anyway. Our job is to plant the seed, give people the tools to be successful, and go from there. And let me tell you, even when they make the decision to climb up Mount Everest, it's still hard. It's still really, really, really hard, but it's worth it. And we're not even there yet. But I know, even just the feeling I have right now, and just to tell you guys, like, get conditioned. This business will slap you in the face, but that's life, right? You're going to get slapped out. It's going to come at you, and it's going to come at you hard. Guys, this year is my 3rd year in a row in 2.5 cuts. Cuts, not hitting, cuts. We hit our first cut 3 years ago. Then we hit our first and our second cut last year. We've already closed out our final cut this year, and now we're in our second cut of Millionaire Team. So I just want you to know, when things don't happen for you, when you don't see it the way that it's supposed to happen, it's all happening. Things go wrong so our lives can go right. Don't quit because it gets hard. The people that can endure the most are the ones that are rewarded the most. So you've just got to be an endurer. I know it's hard. It sucks, but it is what it is. That's life. So I talked about it a little bit earlier about information versus experience. Now, guys, we all know people do not care about the information. They don't care. They do not care. And we know people don't care about the information because there's a lot of vices out there that people can die from, that new people try every single day because they want the experience. Can we agree? Can I see some spirit fingers if we agree, if y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So if we know that, what are you creating for your team? Who are you being? Are you being the distributor that you want to attract? Are you, no matter what, about your events? Are you showing up with positive energy, or are you the person gossiping at the club? Because I can tell you whose business will grow, right? So who are you being? What experience are you creating? And I'm just going to leave that right there. Create an experience that people really are excited to be a part of, and give people a structure to be successful. So I'm going to share a couple nuggets of what I teach on the team and what has exponentially grown our business, guys. It's absolutely crazy. And I don't know if any of you guys have been here, but I really used to struggle with, why is it that I do high volume every month? Why is it that I'm a top recruiter every month? Why is it that I have a ton of preferred members every month, but my team wasn't duplicating? And I didn't understand why I had these things and my team didn't. And I realized that my team didn't know how to be self-employed. Because like most people, we don't know how to be self-employed. There are people that need to be told what to do, and there are hustlers. Some people are just, you go, you figure it out, you make things happen, and that's great. But I don't have a lot of those on the team. Most of the people I have on the team are people that are work-minded. What do I need to do to be successful? And I didn't know how to articulate what it was that I was doing to be successful. And now, guys, I fine-tooth combed. Before it was just Strive for 5. Most recently, we've added 4 new steps, but it's called our 5-pronged structure. And I make it really clear to the newest distributor. Guys, if you're new, when you can teach this to your newest distributor, now you're building a business. Now you're building something where you can actually have residuals. Because if you are a wellness coach, it's great to retail and make money. It's great to have preferred members and make money, but you will be working the rest of your life just like anything else. The amount might be a little bit higher, but you will be working the rest of your life until that becomes residual. And it doesn't become residual until you have other people that are doing what you do. So if you want to be a wellness coach and make additional few $100s here and there, great. But if you want to have a business, that means you don't have to show up and you still get paid, right? Like our president's team members, they don't have to show up and they're still going to make on average $22,000. Disclaimer, they're not typical, but it's what's possible. Their business is running because they've created something that duplicates. And so we have a 5-pronged structure. What it looks like is people are getting the supervisor in their first 5 weeks with the company, earning $2,000 in their first 5 weeks, $1,100 in their first 5 weeks, and $2,000 a month moving forward from that point. and anyone and everyone can do it. And what else this does is it takes away the opportunity for someone to say, this just isn't working for me, because there's proof in it. No one can say it's just not working. You're just not working it. And there's proof in it, right? So if you want to write this down, you can. I'm going to go over our 5-pronged structure. And I guess I should disclaimer this. In November, guys, we have a really sustainable global expansion team business. We're usually anywhere from like 35 to 40,000 organizational volume points. And in November, it was like Twilight Zone. Like, what is happening? I was like, are we even going to hit our global expansion team cut? Like, what is happening? And we as a team declared war. We as a team decided that like this ish is not going to happen anymore. And we got really clear on the steps. And we made a contract of like what it's going to look like. Are you in? Like literally we got clear on our structure and what we were going to do moving forward. And so November, yes, we hit our Get Team cut, but we scraped by, just keeping it all the way real. And then December, January, February, March, it's April. So February, we hit our first cut of 2.5. March, we hit our second cut of 2.5, first cut of mil. It's April, we then close out our 2.5, are in our second cut of mil, and we're tracking for our first cut of 7.5. And who knows if that's in God's plan, then that's in God's plan. But what I do know is it's exponential growth, because if you keep feeding the pipeline, it will come to you. It only don't get faked out by the momentum that happens right away. Don't get faked out. Like when you turn on a hose, right? It takes time for the momentum to get to the other side of the hose. So it took us November, December, January, February went into our first cut, March, April, which is when we finished out our 2.5. But because we didn't turn off the hose, the momentum kept going. It kept growing. And so I say that to say, guys, some people's hoses are just longer than others. And mine was long. It is what it is. Average time the Millionaire Team is 5 hose, okay? Like a hose, y'all messing with my life, okay? Analogy, it's not that kind of party. But I say that to say, guys, average time the Millionaire Team is 5.5 years. And I never thought that I was average. But you know what? Maybe I am. What I know is if I quit, I'll never get to where I want to be. If it takes you 20 years, if you're 30 on this line right now, and you were 50 years old by the time you hit President's Team, making $22,000 a month, where most 50-year-olds are waiting to retire in another 9 years just to retire broke, would it be worth it? But if you quit, however, you will never get there. And so I say that because don't let time fool you, and don't let people that are moving faster than you fool you. Just stay in your lane. It's the fastest way to your destination. Okay, so back to Strive for 5. Number 1 is talk to 5 people a day, 5 days a week, which is 25 people a week. Number 2, pardon me, is to follow up with those people that day if it's not too late, or the following day. Number 3 is 2 parts. Have a no matter what calendar, plug people, and then the second part is plug the people you met into your no matter what calendar. Now let me just give you some context to this. No matter what calendar means no matter what. Like events should be no matter what. If I'm talking to the people that want to build a business, I'm not talking to the people that want to be wellness coaches. There is no right and wrong. But for the purpose of this, if you want to build a business, if you want to retire, if you want to have nicer things, or if you just want to have not nice things, but a lot of money in your bank account, whatever that looks like, you want to make sure to do the things that are going to grow your business. So let me give you an example. If you were to go to the dopest store on the planet, like they have all the dope stuff at the best prices, but you never know when they're open, would you go? I wouldn't. But if I knew that it was the best store with the best prices and I could count on them to be open and they're an hour away, I would drive an hour away to go get an incredible experience and a great product, right? So no matter what means no matter what. Don't let people schedule, and you have to enroll your loved ones into what you're talking about or into what you're building so that they understand. Please don't schedule your weddings on my no matter what calendar. Please do not schedule your baby showers on my no matter what calendar. If you want me to be there, then I'm going to need you to make sure that it's not on my no matter what calendar, because guys, this is our livelihood, and how you do anything is how you do everything. And you never know that one event or that one thing that you're going to hear that can completely change your life. Your entire life, and you missed it to bring a gift to somebody and celebrate, and the baby's not even here yet. Like, for me, there's no way. There's no way. And the reason why there's no way for me is because my mom takes precedence over every single thing. There is no wedding. There is no baby shower. There is no birthday. There is no dinner night. There is no anniversary. There is no anything to me that's more important than that. But what I do know is when I get to a place where I'm making savage amounts of money, I can send my friends on their on an anniversary honeymoon. I can pay for the entire baby shower. You know what? I got you. Or when the baby is actually here, throw a big party, the 1-year-old party. I don't know. Right? Whatever it is, when you get to that level, make it worth it. Don't miss stuff to not build your business. If you're not producing, that's probably why your friends are telling you to quit. Right? We'll get to that too. So that was number 3. Number 4 is personal development, because you are going to get more rejection than you've ever gotten in your life, talking to 25 people a week, and it never feels good. So do the things to reinforce your mind and your spirit. Number 5, this is for is accountability. So a call like this, or a person out of your 25 that week, how did you do? What came out of it? What didn't? And it's not to wrong people. If you don't get 25, no problem. I promise you'll do better than 0. Because you don't want to be that person that's like, I'm on a goose egg. Like, wait, what? Are you even trying to build a business? Right? So there's that. So that's all number 1. That's strive for 5. Now, number 2, a tracking system. So we have day sheets, right? And it's pretty much what's your intention for that day? What's your goal for that day? What do you need to get done that day? Who did you follow up with? Your coaches, clients, or perspectives? Who did you meet that day? Your personal development, what did you take away from it? Did you work out that day? Did you have your Herbalife nutrition 3 times a day? Did you post on social media, and what you're grateful for? And literally that sheet, which by the way, I hate the most. I feel like there's something that everyone is going to hate no matter what their job is. If you're a doctor and you save lives, maybe you don't like when people pass away. Or if you're a teacher and you love teaching kids, but you can't stand that one little disrespectful kid that you want to throw out the window. Like, you know what I'm talking about? There's always going to be the one thing that you don't like. For me personally, I don't like tedious work. I hate filling out these sheets, but if that's what's going to make me retire my mom, I'm going to swallow it and just do it. I'm just going to get it done. Just get it done. For me, that's me talking to me. So those are the things that we track daily, and it's completely changed our business. Number 4 are our calculators. And calculators just looks like on the top, what's your goal? On the bottom, on this side, it'll be what you're currently at. And then this is what you have left to go. So let's say your goal is 2,500 and you're at 500 to have left is 2,000. So 25. So let's say for a week, it says 2,500, 500, 2,000, and nothing changes over the entire week. One of 2 things are going to happen. You're either going to be one of 2 people. You're going to say, oh my God, this is not working. Why am I even doing this? I quit. And you'll quit. And that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. We love you. Or you're going to be that person that says, oh my God, this is so annoying. I hate this. I got to do something about it. And you'll make your numbers move. But be the person, like, you either want it or you don't, right? Make a few extra phone calls. Number 4 is recognition. Celebrate people, guys, for weight loss, for weight gained, for new distributors, new preferred members on your private pages, on your threads. People do not get recognized enough, and they just want to know that they're great. So take the time to do so. And lastly, number 5, and this is for our newest distributor, we just have people send a message that says, hey, and if you're just now coming back too, you can do this and say, hey, I just started a new business. And yes, I can't hit a target that you can't see. I just started a new business and I'm really excited about it. Will you support me? Even if you just order a tea and an aloe, it's going to boost your energy, metabolism, burn calories, but it would mean the world to me. Either way, have an amazing day. Here's my link, www.sarahfontenot.goherbalife.com. And now you're chipping away at that calculator just by having the people that you know and love. And we have them send it to 50 to 100. 50 if you're like ready, like today, within over 2 days, you're going to send it to 50, but I recommend 100. And just by doing that, people are savagely moving up this marketing plan. It's really awesome to see. So there's that. And so guys, in our business, we want to make sure that we are producing and not just doing busy work. So this is going to be a jab for some, but I'm going to keep it all the way real. Just because you show up to the nutrition club, that does not mean you're building your business. Let me say that one more time. Just because you are showing up to the nutrition club, that does not mean that you are building a business. If you do not have new people there, if you are not, building, like having new distributors, new preferred members, new clients coming out of the spaces that you're going to, it's not going to grow your business. It's great that you're adding to the energy, but grow you. Make sure that you're growing you too. So decide on, do you want to be a wellness coach or do you want to have a business? And once you make the decision, map it out. And then, so I have 3 more points, guys, and then we're done. So the next one is balance. Everyone is always talking about balance. You got to have balance. They tell me all the time, Sarah, you got to have balance. Let me tell you something. And I'm sure we all already know. Balance does not exist. And I'm so sorry, but we have 100%. That's it. That's all we got. We only have 100%. And in having 100%, you can have 100% in the time that you have allotted to do something, but have the conversation, enroll your loved ones and let them know, like, look, I'm out here doing my best. This is what I'm trying to build and I'm doing this for us. And in having that conversation, guys, people can either love you or they can love you from afar, but don't surrender your destiny loving the wrong people. And that's like romantic, platonic, whatever. Don't surrender your destiny loving the wrong people, making the wrong people happy. And sometimes it's the right people for the wrong reasons. You are you, and that is your power. You get to be whoever it is that you want to be. Don't allow someone else to rob you of what you are placed on this planet to do. So how committed are you really? Like after the feeling has gone away, guys, when we go to STSs or leadership development weekends, it's like, yeah, life is awesome. Then we go back to our real lives and people are like, why do you do Herbalife? Like, that's stupid, or Herbalife is corny. You know what I think is corny? Struggling and staying in the struggle. That's corny to me. I'm just saying, staying broke is a mindset. That's corny to me. So I'm just saying, don't let people take you out of your commitment because the feeling is going to go away. It's like marriage. You're not going to love your spouse all the time. Sorry, guys, I'm not even married yet. And I know my parents have been married for like decades. You're not going to love your spouse all the time, but you're committed to your spouse all the time. There's a big difference. If your marriage is based on love, I wish you luck. But if your marriage is based on commitment, that's a whole nother ballgame. You can do any and everything. So stay committed even after the feeling that you set it in goes away. And last 2 things, guys. Number 1, comparison is the thief of joy. Now, let me tell you guys, sometimes we get on social media and social media is killing people, killing them all the way off. We see how fast other people are growing, or other people have this kind of car or that kind of relationship. And let me just tell you about me. So I was engaged 2 years ago. 2 years ago in May, I called it off. And I've had the type of relationship on social media that looked like it was everything. That looked like it was everything, right? We were traveling. At the time back then, I was making $5,000 a month. He was making over $10,000 a month, about $13,000. So together, we were living a good life. And I just remember people were like, oh, relationship goals or black love or power cup, like all those things that were like, okay, great. But in reality, it was a very toxic situation. And one of my biggest driving forces, guys, I need you to understand, I was comfortable in my living situation. I was very comfortable, and I could have put up with toxic for a long time. But the thing that had me jump out of the plane was he looked me dead in my face, guys, dead in my face, and said, you'll never be Prez Team. The only way you'd be Prez Team is if you marry Prez Team. Now, I need you guys to understand one of two things. Number one, he did me the biggest favor anyone ever could have done for me. Ever, because it took that level of disrespect for me to realize he's not about the mission. He's not about the same commitment. Now, not to wrong him, you know, he's who he is, and that's how he felt, and that's fine. But I say that to say, that's what had me jump out of the plane, and I decided to grow wings on the way down. And keeping it all the way real, guys, I got back into the situation because we were keeping up with the Joneses. He was very focused on perception, that I was overspending on my credit cards. I was just being dumb with money. And so I got back to a space where I was struggling to pay my rent that following July. And I said to him, I called him and I was like, hey, I'm struggling to pay my rent. Can you help me? And he said, no. I said, no, I know that you can help me. Are you telling me that you won't? And he said, no, I won't. Now I need you guys to understand, good, bad, right, or wrong, it is what it is. But what I'm grateful for is that in that moment, I went back to Sarah when I first started this business and said, this is all a part of my story. And instead of being out here looking for a hero, I decided to become my own. And in that month, I recruited more people than I have ever recruited. I retailed more than I have ever retailed. My business took off, right? And I say that to say sometimes, guys, we will sacrifice our destiny loving the wrong people, comparing the wrong people, putting ourselves into crazy binds, trying to keep up with people that don't care. Let them live their lives and build the life that you want. There is no show. It's just living and lifing, and you get to be who you want to be. But if someone is not pouring into the betterment of the person that you're put here to be, then cut them off. We have one life on this planet. And I'm not saying that I wasn't scared, because I was. And I'm not saying that it was easy, because it was not. One of the hardest decisions was to publicly let people know that I had failed on the highest level. But I would rather fail and be happy than succeed in that and live miserable. You get to choose your poison. So there's that. And this is it, guys. Be patient. The time is going to pass anyway. Like I said, if it takes you 25 years to get to President's Team, people are working 40 years to retire broke. Herbalife hasn't even been around for 40 years yet. 38 years, and every single person that has stuck in it for that full 38 years are President's Team or higher. Most of them are founders, chairmans and founders circle, because they made the decision to stay committed. What if you committed 40 years to this? Even if you only have 3 hours a day to work it, be intentional and productive in those 3 hours. Talk to people, follow up, plug them into your calendar, be present, be the distributor that you want to attract, and give people a structure that they can duplicate. And it's a wrap. So believe that it's possible for you. You get to be, do, and have. We get to be, do, and have anything that we want to be, do, and have. I promise you, it is not easy, but it is worth it. Let's go. Let's build. Thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to share. That's my time, guys. Thank you.
Woo! Sarah had me over here tearing. I just want to say thank you so much for, one, snatching us all up by the head, wringing us by the neck, and getting our lives together, slapping us around, because I know a lot of us, including myself, needed it. You are absolutely amazing, inspiring, and just wow. Okay, I could keep sit here and look at her face and tell her how amazing she is all day, because she just had my heart pumping like outside of my chest at sometimes. So does anybody have any questions for questions or thank yous for Sarah?
Thank you. I'll say you really.
You gotta fix that. That's that Metro. I don't know what it is, but you gotta fix that, baby.
Baby, use some of that retail. We gotta change Wi-Fi.
She's trying to say thank you and some more. Yo, I wanted to stop. I gotta find her. because I needed to stop. Make it stop. Okay. Bro, I can't even find her. I need to go.
Why is she still talking?
Who knows at this point? All right, so does anybody else have any? You're gonna have to message her because your phone is tripping. Can you?
Hey.
Anybody else got any thank yous, comments, concerns?
Hey.
Go ahead.
What you do?
Hey, what's up? This is all day. Sarah, my fam. I just want to say I'm proud of you. Thank you for dropping some heat on this call. I'm gonna let the kids talk to you now.
Whoever that was that unmuted themselves after that lovely man that just spoke, can y'all go ahead?
We do. Can y'all hear us?
Yes, we can.
Okay. We just want to say thank you so much for all of those nuggets. I didn't even make it to church today, but I felt like I was in church just a while ago. Well needed, like, spoke to me in so many different ways.
Simply
So
amazing.
grateful. Hubby over here grateful. Like, just grateful. Like, we thank you so much for all of it. Keep shining. Like, we love it.
Any more thank yous, comments, concerns for Sarah?
Yo, I say, yo, I'm on now, y'all. So I had to let it all marinate for a while. First of all, thank you for this call. I've been following you for a while, but I never heard your story. But I wasn't expecting all of that. Like, honestly, you got a powerful, you speak powerfully. So that was pretty dope. You kind of, a lot of what you were saying was hitting me. I didn't tear up, tears. But, I felt a lot of what you were saying, though, all honesty, and I appreciate the call. And now that just means I got to follow you even more because it was that dope.
Ooh, I agree. Been following you for a long time, and you're just, wow. Did not expect all of that. But like I said, you slapped us around. Anybody else have any more questions, comments, concerns for Sarah?
We'll go. Hey, Sarah, Kylie, and Orlando. We just wanted to personally thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
We've known you and followed you for a few years, but you just speak like so powerfully, and like my chest is still racing. But we took a lot of notes away, and we're at a point in our business where we're shifting and adding more structure. And honestly, a lot that you said kind of fits perfect into what we're looking to add. So we appreciate you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Does anybody else want to go say thank you to this beautiful person before Steven closes us out? Because I know he's itching, y'all. He itching over there.
I'm just waiting.
Anybody want to go before Steven does? Before we give it to him to close us?
I'll jump in there. See, I can see he's itching, so I'm going to delay it a little longer. Just a little longer. Go ahead and simmer for a second. Summertime. Hi, everyone. I'm Crystal Clear, and I am so grateful for you, Sarah. Every single time I have the opportunity to spend with you, I am more and more appreciative of how you operate. In this business, everybody's got their different way of doing things, but Sarah, you really do it your way, and you don't allow anyone else's structure to really dull your vision. And I appreciate you figuring out how to carve your vision into a structure because that's where a lot of us get lost when we don't have clubs. That club mindset is really easy to fall into. It's simple. But when it doesn't resonate with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you got to figure it out fast or you're not going to get there. And so what you've provided to us is something simple. As long as you work the program, you're going to be able to get there. So I appreciate that. More than anything else, I'm appreciative of your transparency, because though you can tell you're going through something, you can't tell you're going through something. It's like there's this sick amount of strength that always projects through your social media when you know you're going through some stuff. Your glow up each and every time is like, yeah, something happened, but dang, she's killing it. So I want to thank you for that, because we as women, we're resilient, but we also put ourselves in situations where sometimes we don't bounce back. You bounce back, baby, each and every time, bigger and better than ever. I am so excited for you. I'm coming with you. We're going to get there together, Lady Prez. Just grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Lady Prez. Just spoke to all the ladies on here, giving us so much life. All right, Steven.
Go ahead, Steven.
So, I mean, I'm going to need y'all not to act so extra with me, though, man. Like, the only reason I act like how I act with Sarah, we have a really awesome relationship. We talk often. We train on stage a lot. You know, a lot of things you all don't see. We've talked about our trials and tribulations so many times, and we just have a really dope relationship. And it's been like that. You know, she knows about a lot of my downs, and I know a lot about hers as well. So I always appreciate, you know, hearing from her, and I'm really excited for the space that she's in. And the crazy thing is, like, I know people get super excited. I want y'all to pay attention to, like, the things that she says, like, and read in between what she's talking about. She's telling you all, even what Crystal just said about the structure. Just like Sarah, don't listen to the fact that, hey, Strive for 5 may not be for you, but listen to the fact that she has a structure. We literally were just talking about that on a call before this. You don't have, like, it's not one structure that's better than the other, but if you have a structure, stick to the structure and it's going to work. It ain't really there's nobody waving a flag saying that this is going to be the time that your structure works, but when it does, you're going to be like, oh my God. And it's just like her. Like, it's just like what we're doing. You know, all of a sudden our structure works, and then boom, you know, we pin change, and then the same thing happens to her. So it's like, it's really awesome for you all to get a chance to experience somebody else who, you know, went from being stagnant to now. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, the way we talk about the numbers, and I always promise her I ain't gonna tell nobody our conversations, but I mean, she might be Prez before me, but it's like, it's just because that's how it happens sometimes, you know, and it might be like quicker than y'all think. And if y'all in LA for LDW, man, y'all might want to get in that Active World Team room. She's gonna be on stage, you know, giving all the life on stage again. You know, just get the opportunity to do that. But I'm always grateful. I'm grateful to have you as a friend. I'm grateful to have you somebody as, you know, what we can be honest with. And I'm grateful for the relationship that we have and that we get a chance to build. And I really want everybody to pay attention to the details and what she talks about, because that's really what it's about. So I appreciate you, and I'll pass it back to you, Eddie.
Super duper appreciative for you getting on this call after all your calls all night. You are absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful. And I cannot wait to see you at LDW in LA. Be graced with your presence once again. Thank you so freaking much. And good night, everybody. I hope that everyone has an amazing week. Hopefully we take everything that she just said and actually put it into action, everything that's stuck in your head. If the structure is something, whatever it is, y'all, let's have a powerful week. I'm going to unmute everybody so we can say good freaking night. If I could. There we go. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Powerful. Thank you.
The drum line, the whole call. I was doing the drum line thing the whole call. Like, how you going? Like, your attention span is crazy. Drumming at the same time. Oh, turn up, man. I'm done.
Good night, y'all.
Nah, we done. You done. Go do with 50,000, whatever it is. Just do 50,000. Go do that.
Stop it. Oh my gosh. Okay, bye.